Good morning, everybody. We'll call to order our June 25th, 2019 regular meeting of the Mason County Board of Commissioners. Begin with our Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Netherland, would you lead us?
I would be honored. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And moving on to item number 3, if the clerk would please take roll.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
Here.
Commissioner District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
Commissioner District 3, Sharon Trask.
I'm here.
Very good, thank you. Moving on to item number 4, correspondence and organizational business. Item 4.1, if the clerk would please report the correspondence.
State of Washington Department of Commerce sent in a letter regarding the Community Development Block Grant. Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board sent in liquor license applications for Hood Canal Salmon Enhancement Group for an event being held at Skokomish Valley Grange, 2202 West Skokomish Valley Road in Shelton. Olympic Region Clean Air Agency, ORCA, sent in notification that the Mason County contribution for calendar year of 2020 is $43,910.48. Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, sent a letter of map change actions and letters of map revision on fill. And finally, Harstein Island Community Club sent a letter regarding the Harstein Island Parade and celebration.
Okay, very good. Is there any other correspondence or organizational business to come before the commission?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I'd like to read a proclamation.
Please.
Proclamation Reunification Month. Whereas all children need the care, love, security, and stability of a family unity, including parents, siblings, grandparents, and other extended family members to provide a solid foundation for personal growth, development, and maturity. And whereas reunification with family is the preferred outcome for children removed from their homes and placed in foster care. And whereas for most children in foster care, reunification with their family is the best option for a permanent and loving home, and each year hundreds of thousands of children are successfully reunified with their families. And whereas safe reunification takes hard work, solid commitment, and the investment of time and resources by parents, family members, social workers, foster parents, service providers, courts, and the community. And whereas on June 27th, 2019, the Mason County Reunification Day will take place to honor families and celebrate communities coming together, to acknowledge the hard work necessary to safely reunify a family, and to raise awareness about the importance of family reunification to children in foster care. Now, therefore, we, Mason County Commissioners, do hereby proclaim June 2019 as Reunification Month in Mason County, and we encourage county residents to join us in this special observance dated this 25th day of June 2019. Signed, the Commission.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioner Netherland. Moving on to item number 5, it's open forum for citizen input. If there are any members of the public that would like to address the Commission on items not on today's agenda, raise your hand, come forward, the chair will recognize you, state your name, and make your comments. Anyone for public comment? Okay, hearing none, move on to item number 6, adoption of today's agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adopt today's agenda, June 25th, 2019.
I'll second.
It's moved and seconded to adopt June 25th, 2019's agenda. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion carries. Item number 7, approval of minutes. There are minutes from June 3rd, June 10th, and June 17, 2019 briefing minutes.
Mr. Chair, I move for approval, as written, of the June 3rd, June 10th, and June 17th, 2019 briefing minutes.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from June 3rd, June 10th, and June 17th, 2019 briefings as presented. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion carries. Moving on to item number 8, it's approval of our action agenda. Commissioners will read through the items on today's action agenda, at which time a member of the commission or the public can ask for an item to be removed for a separate discussion and vote. I will read items 8.1 through 8.3. Commissioner Trask, if you'd please read 8.4 and 8.5. And Commissioner Netherland, if you'd please take 8.6 through 8.8. Item 8.1, approval to set a public hearing on Tuesday, July 23rd at 6:15 p.m. to consider authorizing no parking signs on the left side of Sand Hill Road from milepost 0.925 to milepost 0.987. Item 8.2, approval of the 2019 Oath of Credit Card inventory as required per RCW 43.09.2855. Item 8.3, approval to enter into 2-year contracts with a term beginning July 1st, 2019 and ending June 30th, 2021 with the following agencies. Crossroads Housing, contract CH 2019-2021.4 in the amount of $885,970. Community Lifeline, contract CL 2019-2021.3 in the amount of $330,000. Shelton Family Center, contract SFC 2019-2021.1 in the amount of $30,000. And Turning Point Survivor Advocacy Center, contract TPSA 2019-2021.1 in the amount of $103,000.
Item 8.4, approval of warrants and treasurer electronic remittances. Claims Clearing Fund, warrants number 8064932 through 8065047 in the amount of $496,072.85. Approval of the Community Development Block Grant and approval to allow Frank Pinter, Support Services Director, to sign the grant agreement on behalf of Mason County.
Mr. Chairman, item number 8.6 reads approval of an interlocal agreement for the Voluntary Stewardship Program, VSP, grant funded through Washington Conservation Commission with Mason Conservation District, replacing the current agreement which expires June 30th, 2019. The new agreement will commence July 1st, 2019 with an end date of June 30th, 2021. Item number 8.7, approval of a contract amendment number 1, extending the contract with Northwest Event Organizers Incorporated, NEO, for the period of January 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2021 for tourism, development, and marketing services and support of local festivals and events. Item number 8.8, approval to execute the resolution to close Highland Road to perform culvert replacement work at milepost 1.47 beginning Monday, July 8, 2019, and reopening prior to Friday, September 6, 2019.
Thank you, Commissioners. Having read through all of the items on today's action agenda, are there any items Commissioners would like to have removed for a separate discussion and vote? Hearing none, are there any members of the public that would like to have an item removed for a separate discussion and vote? Okay, hearing none, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move for approval of the action agenda as presented.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the action agenda as presented. Any additional discussion? Okay, I just make a quick comment on item 8.3. These are our contracts with our community agencies doing housing and homelessness work in the community. And this was the first year that this went through the Housing and Behavioral Health Advisory Board that the Commission established last year. And appreciate staff's work on that process, as well as the members of the community that serve on that advisory board. I think it's a new process, so not without some growing pains, but certainly one that I think will be effective for the county going forward. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion carries. Moving on to item number 9, other business. Any department heads or elected officials who would like to address the commission? Okay, seeing none, we have not yet hit 9:15 to do our public hearing. So without objection, I'd like to move on to item number 11, our board reports and calendar. Begin with Commissioner Netherland, Commissioner Trask, and then I'll finish up.
Okay, in short form, Mason Transit Authority risk audit began. It was very simple, sweet, short, and no issues were acknowledged. Mason Transit Authority regular meeting at the North Mason Resources. Also attended a meeting looking at a building for sale by the state of Washington for North Mason Resources. Had an incredible, I love attending these things. It was a talent show in Belfair Elementary, and it can't help but warm your heart when you watch all these kids sing, dance, tell jokes, do magic. Although the magic was a little hard one to follow. When you drop your cards on the ground, it's never a good sign. But it was wonderful watching those kids with all their enthusiasm and guts because it's got to take a lot of guts to get up there and do that in front of. There was at least 100 parents that showed up. It was wonderful. Briefings. Attended briefings of the county commission. Met with the tip cap chair and talked about some of the infrastructure in the Allen area there that we're looking to do. The Peninsula Regional Transportation Organization and the North Mason Community Voice meeting. After this, I have a meeting with the Department of Transportation to look at some of the different opportunities and options for the Belfair bypass. We have email management training, actually celebrating Reunification Day. I'll be speaking there. It's an incredible event when you actually get to watch them receive their certificates for being able to take their kids back. It's a lot of work for these folks. And remember, especially when you're into drugs and stuff like that, some never come back. They just don't. That brings us, I'm actually going to be attending an event at the North Mason Fire Authority with chili for the kids and a ride on the fire trucks, briefings, and the Port of Allen. That brings us back to briefings, and we do it all over again.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Trask?
Today I'm going to attend the wildfire smoke webinar over at the health department across the way. Tonight's the community fire awareness meetings. I'll be at the Civic Center. And then tomorrow we have the Community Action Council board meeting. We'll also be saying goodbye to Ted's brother Bernard, his wife Julie, and Liam, their son. They've been here for a week and a half, and it's been quite enjoyable having them here. I'll miss them. Email training, area on aging meeting, and then the sheriff's breakfast on Friday. And then Saturday is Fjorden in Hoodsport. I encourage everybody to go. That should be a lot of fun. Melissa's having a concert in Yelm on Sunday. Then we're back to county briefings and a PAC meeting on Monday, and then possibly a chamber event that night.
Great, thank you. Moving forward for this week, I have a meeting later today with our therapeutic courts and the behavioral health organization, again, trying to get ahead of the transition that we're going to be facing. It's being brought about by legislative changes for the delivery of behavioral health care in the communities. Also be attending the community fire awareness tonight. I have a meeting with Shelton Kiwanis later this week, as well as our Housing and Behavioral Health Advisory Board. I'll also be at the email management training this week, as well as the law enforcement breakfast.
Just clarification, I will also be attending a fire authority meeting tonight, but I'll be in Belfair.
I think there's one in each commission
attending
district,
here?
so I will be, I believe I'll be at the one in up at Lake Cushman. So I think we'll be doing the same thing, just different spots. So okay, that's all I had there. We have now reached 9:15, so we can go back and do our public hearing. Item 10.1, a public hearing to consider the sale of parcel 32021-56-01027 on East Panorama Drive, Shelton, in the amount of $5,000, and I ask staff to come forward and brief.
Thank you, Commissioners. As you mentioned, this is a public hearing to consider for sale parcel number 32021-56-01027 at 360 East Panorama Drive in Shelton. The market value was $8,750. The current offer, or the offer price, is $5,000. And we request approval for sale of the surplus property.
Okay, very good, thank you. Any questions for staff, Commissioner?
Question and clarification. You have down here market value. Are we talking assessed value? Because there's a big
Correct.
difference.
Yeah, the current, that's the assessed value.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, any other questions for staff? Any questions from the public for staff? Okay, seeing none, we'll move into the public comment period. If you'd like to make comment on item 10.1, raise your hand, come forward, and the chair will recognize you, state your name, and make your comment. Anyone for public comment? Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public comment period and move to commissioner deliberation or a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll move for the approval to sell surplus parcel 32021-56-01027 in the amount of $5,000 to John Schaff.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the sale of surplus parcel number 32021-56-01027 in the amount of $5,000 to John Schaff. Any additional discussion?
Just a little clarification on the market value, the assessed value that we have it in life. It doesn't work that way. That doesn't mean it's actually worth that. It's just what the county had assessed it at one point. We had it on the market for quite a while before we accepted an offer at the price that we did. So it actually puts the real value at about where somebody's willing to pay. And that's where we ended up today.
Very good. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion carries. Having reached the end of our agenda, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
We're adjourned. Have a good day, everybody.